Okay, so here we are with Sherri Ruth's interview. We have several questions that we're going to ask, which are going to be basically the same questions that are asked for every single candidate for the board positions, just to keep it so that our membership can compare the straight questions directly across so that they can get a better idea of each candidate and what their thoughts are. Okay. So the first question is, when did you first learn about drum horses and what drew you to them?
I think how many years, probably 6 or 7 years ago. A friend of mine had rescued this horse and was taking care of it. It's actually through Sue Leopold. She had sent this horse out to her, and she had a rescue up in Washington, state of Washington. And her name is Skylar, and she's my first one. And I heard she was a drum horse. I had to look up what drum horses were and all that. So then I went and sent in her DNA and all that, only to find out that she was actually already a registered drum horse. And I just had to re-register under my name. And she ended up being an F3. Well, it really fascinated me, and I kept trying to breed her because I wanted her temperament and everything so wonderful. And I could never breed her, come to find out she's infertile. So I graduated on, and Sue Leopold sent me another drum horse, which is a gelding. And again, the temperament is so phenomenal. It's just hard to believe it's such a gentle giant there. And he's a big one. He's 18, almost 18 too. And so then I decided to get one of my own. So I went through Nancy up in Canada, and I got my girl. I call her Rimby. Her name is Sally Brown, but we call her Rimby. And she was my first actually bought one, and she just had her first baby, and we have our first hole on the ground at my farm this year.
Oh, lovely.
That's very exciting. Okay.
I know,
so
and
Sherri,
she's going to be huge, this one.
well, that is wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and ask you two different questions because you kind of covered them in this question you kind of already covered. But
Okay.
Tell me exactly how long you have owned drum horses. Just one more time.
I think it's about 7 years now.
Okay.
Because I
And
had her on my farm for a year before I actually took owner of her.
Okay. And how long have you been a member of the IDHA?
Probably 7 years. Because as soon as I found out, I immediately joined. Because I wanted to know everything I could about them. So that was the best way.
Right. Wonderful.
Mhm.
All right, Darcy, I'm going to let you take the next question.
Okay. What horse experience do you have that will be helpful to the IDHA?
I've been in all kinds of aspects of the horses, starting with just our own farm, Belgians on our farm when I was a kid, and then went from there, joined pony club. So I was all with Morgan's then with the pony club, and then moved on, got married, said I don't want to deal with horses and babies. So waited until the kids were able to, get out of the way easy enough, and started looking into standardbreds. And I raced standardbreds for about 5 years, I think. And I was a racer, owner, trainer, did all our own training, did all our own, all of our own track. We had a track in the back at my girlfriend's place, and we did all our own work and whatnot. I learned how to horseshoe there and a lot of other things. And then when I moved up to Michigan, the winters are so cold, and that's mostly the time they race. And I said, I can't, with the MS and everything, I can't handle the cold doing that. So I just thought I'd just get riding horses, and then along came Skylar to change my life.
So then you have showing experience, training experience, a whole variety of stuff.
Horse experiences.
Yeah.
Many different kinds of horses, and shoeing. I have done a little bit of shoeing.
Okay. That can be helpful for us.
Yes, I did farrier work for probably about almost 10 years. It's tough work. I don't know how those guys stick with it. It's hard.
I think that's why they charge so much.
Oh, and I don't blame them. I do not have a problem with that.
Okay, so
Especially not these big feet. These big feet are really, you need to know what you're doing with big feet.
yeah. Taylor?
Yes. Okay. Well, you kind of covered the next two questions as well. So we're going to go ahead and touch on them and just ask them, as everyone will get those big back question asked. So what business type experience and qualifications do you have that would be helpful to the IDHA?
Qualifying for races, there's a lot of, I've had a lot to do with a lot of DNA work and blood work, as far as, testing for different pathogens in horses and that kind of thing that you have to do with race horses. The other one is the shoeing. Oh, and showing. Done them all.
Okay, what
All right.
business experience, like bookkeeping, computer skills,
Oh,
filing,
yes.
management?
Yes, I do payroll. So I do payroll for my work. My work is at Mount Holly, it's a ski hill area, and it's perfect. So I went from full-time to part-time. So I can now just work in the winter doing payroll.
Okay, so a lot of office type stuff then as well.
Right,
as well as
yes.
bookkeeping.
Organizing, bookkeeping, a lot of PR work. I've had to do a lot of personnel work. They kind of I'm kind of the jack of all trades in the office there.
I can understand that. Do you have any personal experience that would be helpful? Anything like you have done to develop skills of public speaking or coaching or anything along those lines?
Yes, I have lots and lots of public speaking. I was in opera major at college, so I'm used to singing in front of people. And when my children were born, I kind of stopped doing that. My husband was moving a lot with his career. So I started working part-time, and my part-time required me to do a lot of instructional speaking. After the instructional speaking, I got involved heavily into Christian women's organization, and I've been a speaker for them. I'm also a lay speaker for my church.
Okay. Very cool. All right. Darcy, you want to take the next one?
Sure. Since this is a volunteer organization, we have to try and provide as much time as we can to get things done, because even though it's volunteer, it does need to run as a business. So
Right.
how much time each week or month do you feel that you'll be able to dedicate towards doing IDHA projects?
I think I could probably dedicate at least 15 hours a week. And if I had to for more, like there's something special coming up, like special shows or like this, for instance,
Right.
or doing this kind of thing or whatnot, I can easily get more time and use more time. We're both retired. My husband's retired also. So we're pretty much retired. I'm slowly trying to retire from my part-time job, but they don't want to let me go. So it's one of those things, I know everything and they don't want me to go anywhere.
Okay.
Do you have any personal projects or anything that you would feel would benefit the IDHA? Any extra things that you're wanting to focus on and develop?
Yes, I do. And it's because of the shows that I've been showing. And I explained that I have multiple sclerosis, which I have to take a drink right now. So sorry. I have a passion for helping other older women and other women that may have certain diseases, even fibromyalgia, fatigue syndrome. There's all kinds of things that many of us, we know as we're getting older, these things strike us and hit us, but we still have our passion for our horses. And this particular horse has been a godsend for me, because I could no longer have the strength or the ability to handle a racehorse anymore. So having these gentle giants come into my life has become a passion for me. And I just would love to have more shows. I go to this one show when they have a walk-only class, which is perfect for women like me who can't really run beside their horse. there's also availability. I had another show that I turned around and pulled my horses out of and left. And that was because they would not accommodate me to have my motorhome close to where my horses were kept. And I could not walk a third of a mile to get to my horses. And they were not allowing me to bring my golf cart. There were a lot of things like that they had restricted me on. And what really upset me is when I told the man that I had MS, he looked at me and said, well, I have friends that are much more crippled up than you. And I would like to educate places that are having shows and educate people that are running shows to know that quite often these lovely horses allow people with different handicaps, with different situations, to be able to still stay in the show ring and not feel like a total loser in there. You can actually compete and be equal with them and feel good about yourself and about your horses. So.
Okay, that sounds really good. Now this is a tough one.
Okay.
What board positions do you think you would possibly be interested in filling or feel that you would be suited to filling?
I could probably be pretty much suited to most anything except something that requires doing a lot of the work on a computer. Like I can come up with great marketing ideas, but I can't put them into work with a computer or anything. I'm probably a little more advanced than a lot of my friends my age, but I'm not that good. So anything that required a lot of that, if it's already formulated up, because I do all my payroll now on computer, but that's already a bought, program, and you just fill in with the program. I can do that kind of thing, but to make up something on my own, I cannot do that. I think I could be good for many different positions. One thing I'd really prefer trusting, because we all think maybe we can do something, but other people see things different in me. And I would really appreciate the rest of the board to help me, decide where they thought I would be good.
Okay. Taylor?
Okay. Are there any positions that you feel like you would not be best suited for? You said specifically things that would involve more computer work as far as
yes,
different
something
programs.
like if I had to put graphics on a computer or something to put up for advertising or for publicity work for us, I would not be able to. Now, if it required me standing up in front of somebody and doing that, would be no problem at all. But to have me have to put up something on on the computer, like for instance, I kudos to everybody that worked on doing that. Excuse me, I gotta give again. I'm so sorry this happens to me, but it does.
No, you're fine.
For instance, doing the new website, it's like that. That would just blow my brains out. I couldn't figure that at all. But everybody did a fantastic job of it. I've gone through and looking at a lot of the new stuff. It looks really good.
Well, we're very glad that you like it. I'm going to go ahead and ask the next question too, since it kind of coincides with everything. Are you willing to kind of help tackle anything that's asked of you, or if there's any project, even if you don't necessarily want to do it, are you willing to help with it?
I'm a very good helper. Just, yes, absolutely. I love, changing masks once in a while, getting into something new or doing something different. If it's something that's not in my expertise or my genre, I would easily go with somebody else, showing me the ropes, because I'm a little sponge. I'll absorb whatever they tell me. And if you need desperate help to anywhere, I've said that all along now, even though I'm not on the board, if you need help, I'm here.
Okay,
we appreciate that.
I wanted to go back to like helping with projects and what you feel suited for and stuff just a little bit. You do have basic computer skills so that you could do like a Word document or a simple Excel spreadsheet, potentially, stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I can do an Excel sheet. I actually took a class for that.
Okay. The next question is, many of the positions would benefit from committees that work on them. Are you willing and able to assist in multiple committees, which you basically said? there could be the possibility of extra meetings at times if, like, say 2 or 3 people are working on a project together. Are you
Mhm.
able to schedule in and be able to do things like that beyond our normal board meetings?
Oh, absolutely. It's hard to say you wouldn't in this day and age where everything's portable,
Right.
but yes, no problem.
Okay.
All right, wonderful. Okay, why do you want to be a board member with all of the added responsibility in comparison to just a normal member?
I want to be a board member because I want to help get this breed out there, getting more people knowing about it. I've been, ever since I got Skylar, I took her the very first year to the expo in Columbus, Ohio. And I've been there every year that they've been open since. I feel it's very important to get this horse on, out there. I even took the booth before the IDHA started taking a booth. I had a booth there for them and everything. I just feel that they're not getting the kudos these horses really deserve. And I think people are confused. They just think they're just, something to look pretty in your yard or something. And I don't think they understand how versatile they are and what they can do. I mean, I've got one guy that does everything. I mean, he hooks up to a carriage. He does all kinds of things. So I think that's one of the things I would like to see it go. And as I said, the other thing that I said about was, working, how gentle they are to work for handicapped people and people with other issues to work with. I want to be on the IDHA because I also want to feel more in the loop. I try to get on Facebook, but I'm not. There's so much other stuff I don't care for on there, and it's kind of hard sometimes to look in between the drama, and not meaning our group is a drama. I just mean in general the drama that's on the Facebook. But I try to keep in touch, but because we're all so widely dispersed that it's very I find it very difficult to keep up with what's really going on. And that's another reason why I'd really like to be on the committee, to get on the ground floor and know what's really going on with this group.
Okay. Next question. Do you have the tools that will enable you to perform your duties, like a decent computer, decent internet? We do both Zoom and Skype meetings, and
Yeah.
we're doing Zoom with you today, but are you able to get set up with Skype as well, just in case?
Yeah, I could try to get up with Skype. I never liked Skype only because it's so intermittent and it's not reliable like Zoom is. I belong to Zoom. I purchase the Zoom every year for at home because our family we have a son in Australia. Our daughter's in California. I'm in Michigan. Rest of my family's in New York and Massachusetts, Maine. So I'm very, very comfortable with, long distance and working with the computer and doing that stuff. And our internet is very good at our house. We also have a Generac. So if the power goes out, which is not unusual, the power goes out, it will come back on for us. So I'm pretty available all the time.
Okay.
Fair enough. How would you handle a situation where your vote doesn't achieve the result you wanted? At times, the board will not be all in agreement, and we will have to take a vote where people disagree with one another. How would you handle that?
I've been on other committees and churches and all kinds of different things, and it's what the rest of the group wants, and I have to support them. That's I can't be a 2-year-old and throw a temper tantrum. It's got to be, that's what we have committees and groups for, is because it's not one person dictating the whole thing. It's and it's a group basis, and that's what they decide. This is what they decide, and I go along with it.
Okay.
Okay, Darcy, you want to take that last one?
Sure. Are you aware of any potential problems that would prevent you from completing your term or assigned duties? And I'm not talking MS, but like, say in 6 months you're planning on moving and you're moving to Australia or something, as an example, right? Just
please no. I don't see any reason why I would get off of it. I may have a new location for doing this kind of thing in the meetings, because we are looking for a second home in Mississippi down by the coastline, just to get out of the really cold months up in Michigan. But that, no, I don't see any reason why I would not. I'm not that kind of person. I'm pretty, when I say I'm going to do something, I'm pretty much, I do it.
Okay, so there would be no reason why you would potentially have to not
No.
attend a meeting or anything like that?
No, nothing other than the Lord taking me early.
Okay, well, hopefully that's not gonna happen.
I know. Some days I wonder.
All right. Well, that's all the questions that we have. I don't have anything else for you. Do you, Darcy?
No, I'm good. Do you have anything that you wanted to say, Sherri?
No, you let me say the thing about that. The handicap thing is the one I really wanted to get in because same thing with the, with the gypsies. I keep trying to tell them, you really need to start pushing them more for the handicapped children and whatnot with the gypsies. But these horses are just fabulous. I haven't met one I don't like yet.
Very good. And that is very true. The gypsies and the drums for the therapeutic riding programs are wonderful. Because one thing is for your heavier riders or your handicapped children, we have some that are in programs around us, and they have been a godsend.
Yep.
Well,
and
Sherri,
some of these kids are not small. They're adults size, and
definitely. Well, Sherri, I think that's everything we have. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, and good luck with this.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We will record. This is going to be recorded and will be brought forward to the members for everyone to go through and take a look at all of our candidates.
Okay. Sounds great.